Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get the comics up in here. My man Howie Bell in the building. Howie, how you doing, bro?
Hey, man, you know all is well, my brother. Can't complain, man. Happy Tuesday.
Same to you. Same to you. Other comedian in the building is Maurice Smith. Mo, how you doing, bro? How's everything?
And I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good today. Happy Cinco de Mayo, since I didn't see you guys yesterday. You know.
My man, filmmaker Jason Hayes in the building too. How you doing, sir?
Listen, man, everything's good, and I know Mo was gonna be off the hinges today.
Yeah. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be a day like that, man. You know, I'm expecting. I just want that same energy. You know, I want that same energy with the next 2 weeks. That's all I'm gonna ask. That same energy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That same energy. So before I even jump into it, man, let me ask you guys, what's your thoughts about the NBA playoffs so far, and about all the teams who was expected to win lost so far? You know what I mean? So Mo, we talk about the NBA playoffs, man. Tell me your NBA playoffs thoughts. I mean, not
well,
Mo,
you know what?
Howie. I'm sorry, Howie. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Howie.
Yeah, man, it's been good. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I actually, as bad as I felt about the Knicks beating the Pistons, I actually that was a good ass game. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get credit where credit's due. I don't know how the rest of the series is gonna go for them. Of course, the pace, everybody, just everything, man. It's been good. Tonight, I think we got Golden State.
Okay, I'm losing you, Howie. I'm losing you. All right, I'm gonna go to Mo. Mo, talk to me about the NBA playoffs to you, man. I know you want to talk about the Knicks, so get your discussion about the Knicks out of the way.
Well, no. I mean, I'm saying, look, man. Look. I didn't even expect that to happen last night. Nobody except the Knicks, except the guys who wore the uniforms, was looking for that to be a W last night. But then again, look at Denver, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they came in and bumped off OKC. And look at it started out with Indy. Look at Indy. Indy ain't no walk in the park. I remember Indy from last year, but the Knicks had to play them in the semifinals. They bumped us up before they got to Boston. Listen, There ain't no walk in the park. Just because Boston, I think the Boston sweep them last year, it wasn't an easy sweep with them. It was just the fact that they weren't ready. But man, listen, this so far, the whole series, everything, the playoffs has been great to me.
I think everybody's overlooking the Indiana Pacers, man. I think everybody's overlooking, and they got better, and they're not injured. I think everybody's overlooking them. But right now, the Celtics, I'm surprised you didn't. Celtics missed 45 threes last night, man. I can't begin to tell you, when I saw 10 consecutive shots, how mad I was, because they weren't driving to the hole. I thought that's what you were going to go. So Mo, okay, I give it to you, Mo. Give you
No,
credit.
I'm gonna leave because I know you get a little sensitive when it comes to your teams. You know how Frank get mess around. We get picked up by Netflix, and I don't get a contract or something for about 6 months. I don't know.
Here we go. Jason, man, talk to me, man. What's your thoughts about the NBA playoffs so far, especially with all the number ones or the guys who were supposed to win, the favored, all lost? You know what I mean? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I just think that we're seeing that teams are more even than people realize. That if you think about the records in a regular season, there was a lot of separation between like 1 and like 6 in terms of wins and losses. So
Right.
I think you're just seeing a lot of teams that are evenly matched. Doing it. Meeting it. I mean, honestly, this is just one game. It's one snapshot in time. And the cool thing about the playoffs is, you don't get like Boston tonight and then you get, the Charlotte Hornets today. You know what I'm saying? You got to go beat a really good team 4 times to advance. So it's going pretty much like you would expect. I mean, it's a lot of parity in the league right now.
It definitely is. Howie, your internet good, man? Can we finish this conversation with you, bro?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I think the Boston Celtics fan kind of got into my little intercepted my
A little green gremlin.
But look, I got the green on though.
You got the green on, so you good. You good, man. We trying to make sure we can hear you. That's what we try to do.
No, man. I was just saying, I don't know where I left off, but I just want to say that I love playoff sports in general.
Yeah.
Because it always takes it to another level. It's always unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen, and that's just the beauty of it, man. These are professional athletes, and hey, like like he was saying, listen, it's more competitive than what people think it is.
Right.
People are more evenly matched these days than ever before. Ain't a lot of lopsidedness. It was a lot of blowouts in the last round, but I don't think it's going to really be like that. You know what I'm saying? From here on, moving forward. But I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
I'm gonna just say this, and I said it just a second ago. I think everyone is overlooking, and I mean everyone's overlooking the Indiana Pacers in the East, and I think people are overlooking the Denver Nuggets in the West. You know what I mean? I think those are the two teams that literally both of them could end it in the finals, and you shouldn't be shocked if either one of them landed. If we have a finals with the Indiana Pacers against Denver Nuggets, I don't expect it, but Denver showed you their highlights, how good they can be. Yeah. And Indiana Pacers showed you how good they could be. You know what I mean? And that's just in my opinion. So
they is not letting a finals happen between Indianapolis and Denver. That would be the most boringest final. Wouldn't nobody tune in? They ain't letting that. They're gonna rewrite the script before they do that.
Yeah, I listen. I can't deny you, bro. I think that's but it is a possibility. That's all I'm trying to say. It is a possibility because
I'm with Mo though, man. They'll dust off Tim Donaghy first.
Yeah, they probably would. All right,
they'll bring Donaghy back first.
Let's jump up into the show, man. And Howie, you up first. So Howie, let's talk about the top 5 best special team plays to you that you saw, in your time of watching, NFL.
Yeah, you know what? I can't deny. I had to really kind of watch some highlights and go back and look at some stuff too. It's been some amazing special teams plays. Some I forgot about, some I saw live. So I got to start with this. Devin Hester, Super Bowl 41, 2007. Yep, he's the first player to return an opening kickoff in the Super Bowl. First player ever, 92 yards. You know what I'm saying? The Bears lost to the Colts that year, but that was just an amazing play. They talked about that forever. You know what I'm saying? They still talk about that to this day. I got to go with Desmond Howard. Let's go back to the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 31. And the Patriots, hey, man, they just scored, cut Green Bay's lead 27-21. Howard returned the ensuing kickoff for 99 yards, sealing that Super Bowl for Green Bay that year against the Patriots, man. And he was Super Bowl MVP too. Desmond Howard, you know what? University of Michigan too. Boom, boom, boom. Let's throw that in there. And 1999, they call it the Music City Miracle. The AFC wildcard game between the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills. 16 seconds left. 16 seconds left. They remaining. They were trailing by 1 point. The Titans executed a kickoff run featuring a controversial ladder from Frank Wycheck. Y'all remember Frank Wycheck? And to Kevin Dice, game-winning touchdown in the AFC wildcard game, 1999. That was incredible. All right, what was that? That was 3. Then I got the fake spike in 2000, the Monday Night Football. I forgot about this too. It was in 2000. It was a game against the Patriots and the Jets. You remember that, Frank? The Jets punter, Tom Tupa. He was a former quarterback. He took a direct snap on a fake field goal and threw a touchdown to Jumbo Elliott, 300-pound offensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? And won the game they call it the Monday Night Miracle comeback. And then last, I got to go throwback always. The Miracle at the Meadowlands, 1978, with the Giants leading 17-12. And all they need to kneel down in that victory formation, and the quarterback, Joe Pisaric, fumbled the handoff attempt. And the Eagles cornerback, y'all know and love him, I love him to death, Herm Edwards scooped the ball up and returned it for a touchdown for the Philadelphia to win 1917. They show that highlight all the time.
They sure do. They sure do. That's good. I like your picks. The comedian known as Maurice Smith, give me your top 5 best special team plays to you.
I just want to say this because I knew somebody was going to pick that doggone Miracle in the Meadowland. That wasn't special teams. That was just regular football being played.
No,
That
no,
wasn't
it was
that
special.
wasn't the special
So when
team.
you
Herm Edwards wasn't the special teams.
so
Excuse
when
me.
you line up in a victory formation, that's a special part of your special team.
Now
Yeah.
we're gonna get technical. We're gonna talk victory
It
formation.
is. That's what they did.
And I got the question wrong. I thought it was the top special education players of all time. I had Little Tink Tink. Little Tink Tink was down for my top special education players of all time. I thought Little Tink Tink did a thing, and was great. I had George and Michael when they helped Erica finish the race when she was running from the stick-up kids down Dudley Station in Boston, Massachusetts. Special
Definitely.
education always comes in handy. They stick together as a unit. Also, I do got the New York Giants and the Eagles, man, for special teams play. Also, Deshaun Jackson had a return on us as a returner, and we was going to win the game. It was the last play of the game. He ran that back, killed us. Another special education play. It was Milton. Milton was standing in his front of the pizza shop with no money, and he was in the special education bus pulled up and gave Milton a pizza. Those are my top special teams and special education plays.
I like his top special education plays, bro. I like him. I like him. My man, filmmaker Jason Hayes, talk to me. Tell me what you got as your top 5 best special team plays.
Mo and Howie are in my damn bag, bro. Because number 5 for me was Devin Hester, 92-yard kickoff return. And it's worth noting that Devin Hester is the first dude who primarily plays special teams to go into the NFL Hall of Fame. That's how cold that boy was, man. Number 4 for me, I gotta go Music City Miracle. White check throwing the lateral that looked like a forward pass until you went back and actually saw what happened. 16 seconds left to go in the game. Game's over, bro. I mean, the whole stadium is distraught.
Right.
And boom, walk off touchdown. Number 3, again, I'm gonna go to Deshaun Jackson with the Eagles. Game over. Kick it out of bounds, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like game's tied. Go to overtime. Don't kick to Deshaun Jackson. And the cool thing about Deshaun was he actually bobbled the punt.
Mm-hmm.
It hit him and rolled around. He picked it up, danced a little bit, and then took off, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ball game. Number 2 for me, I'm going to go the late, great Jacoby Jones for the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl. That dude ran back 106, 107-yard kickoff return to set the tone. He caught touchdowns. He did everything in that game. He was a Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? As primarily as a special teams player. And then number 1 for me, I got to go the Ravens against the Browns, where the game, who was up? No, it was tied. Last few seconds of the game, Cleveland Browns attempt a 51-yard field goal. If they make it, great. Most likely going to make it. Ravens block the punt, scoop it, run it back, game over. Crazy.
I like y'all's list. Everybody's list. Sorry to say, y'all picked every single one I had, so it ain't no sense in me even going through mine. I don't want to bore the people by saying the same thing that we all said here. Like we all said that. So now this is the interesting part of the show that I was anxious to see when we brought this question up is give me your top 5 best wide receiver duo in NFL history. Not who they are in NFL history from 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. We already know statistically who they are. But Howie, who's your favorite top 5 best wide receiver duo in NFL history?
Well, you know what, man? I'm from, being a part of that NFC North and, and all that stuff, man. I say this, man. I hated watching. It was the Central Division at one time, but I hated watching Randy Moss and Chris Carter. And when they played for the Minnesota Vikings, that had to be one of the most irritating tandems, man, as a Lions fan, because they murdered us. They murdered everybody in the division. They used to kill. I'm talking about, you talk about a tandem, a duo of receivers, man. Randy Moss, Chris Carter. I think both of them got the jacket. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, what else can you say? I don't know if y'all remember how sweet Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt was. Greatest show on turf.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. You know what I'm saying? Them boys made everybody look ridiculous. And the funny part about it is they was just two people on the offense. They had so many weapons. But they were incredible, man. So I had to go with them, man, with the Rams, Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. And I got Julio Jones and Roddy White. What y'all know about them? You know what I'm saying? Man, yeah, they were crazy. First of all, both of them pretty much unstoppable. If you play with any one of them on Madden, you already know what the game was going to be. Yeah, play with the Falcons on Madden when they was playing. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you know if they legit or not.
Yeah,
they ain't going on Madden. They ain't nothing.
I'm trying to tell you, Doc, man, them boys were incredible. I tell you that much, man. And then I gotta go with I gotta go throwback. You know, I gotta always go throwback. The Steelers, Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. What you know about that? When I was a kid, I wanted to be Lynn Swann. You know what I'm saying? That's all we wanted to be in the 70s, baby. So I had to go with that. You know what I'm saying? The Iron Curtain with the big part. It was Lynn Swann. You know what I'm saying? And John Stallworth, as a kid, everybody wanted to be either a Steeler or a Cowboy. Gotta throw that in there. People didn't want to be a Cowboy. But that's a whole nother story. But those are my top tandem receiver. Oh, I got one more. So I had to throw this one in there too. I do got one more. They played for the Raiders for one season, I think, together, and that was Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. They went to the Super Bowl too. That was one of the. I don't know if y'all remember how cold Tim Brown was. You know what I'm saying? But when him and Jerry Rice got on that squad together, I promise you that was one of the. I don't think they won that year. You know what I'm saying? But they got to the Super Bowl. So that's my top line.
I'm not sure I'm talking to the real Howie Bell. Is there anybody there in the Howie household to see if we talking to real? Because Howie Bell did not pick the dude who plays for Detroit Lions.
Not one Lion.
Not one.
Not one.
I had to go.
Megatron and the Popcorn Man. You know what I'm saying?
What happened to Megatron? Megatron was named in there. Okay. I think you ever see that movie? Jason, you ever see that movie, Body Snatchers?
He been body snatched. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he been body snatched.
I'm just a fair sportsman. That's all.
Just today. I give it to you, Howard.
He been smart,
but
bro.
I will say, I'm surprised you didn't say Megatron. But anyway, my man Maurice Smith.
But it was just. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It was just him, really. It wasn't. We had Johnny Morton at that time, and we had Brett Perriman. Yeah, we had Black Perriman. We had Herman Moore. We had some people, you know what I'm saying? But we talking about the real tandems, you know what I'm saying? Because really it was just Megatron, even though those other guys are great. You know what I'm saying? Especially Herman Moore is really great. But it wasn't like those.
It wasn't. He didn't have somebody else. Yeah. Mo, give me your top 5 best wide receiver duos in NFL history to you that you love, that you like.
This is wide receiver duos. I thought it was duos that have been with wide receivers, because I had Alexis and Cupcake. They have been with a lot of wide receivers out in Miami when the Dolphins came through. They told me stories. I had Mercedes and Bubbles in New York. Those two, they've been with a lot of wide receivers when teams come through. I got it. I'm sorry. I did. While Howie was talking, I did put down some, because I got Mike Evans and Antonio Brown when they were with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a cold little duo right there. I also got well-dressed Amani Toomer and Plaxico Burress with the New York Giants. Frank know those two, right, Frank?
I do not.
As all of a sudden my internet might get cut off or something.
You might.
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Right now, You can't. That duo is so lethal. They spent months talking about them on ESPN about how are they going to pay the two of them, and they can't let either one of them go. You can't tell me that's not a duo that will go on in years as one of the best. And also Rice and Taylor, baby, 49ers. I think that's the coldest duo ever. But I want to give an honorable mention to two cats, and Frank might fall out his chair because they weren't wide receivers, but they were played as wide receivers, and that's Gronk and Hernandez. Them two together was scary. Even though they were tight ends, but they were played as receivers. I just want to give that an honorable mention.
Right, okay. A killer and a killer.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, both of them. Jason Hayes, give me yours. Your favorite wide receivers.
Again, so clearly me and Howie were on the phone last night blowing bubble gum and stuff, blowing bubbles. You know what I'm saying? Because I got Randy Moss and Chris Carter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You have to have them, bro. They are both in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, I checked their stats, just to verify it, right? Chris Carter has 13,900 receiving yards, right? With 130 touchdowns, right? Mm-hmm. Randy Moss has 15,300 receiving yards, and he has 156 touchdowns. If that ain't doing work as a duo, bro, I don't even know who you talking to at all, ever. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. Number 4 for me, I gotta go again. They both in the Hall of Fame. Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. They won 4 Super Bowls. They both got gold jackets. They played together their whole careers. It don't get more duo than that, right? Mm-hmm. Number 3 is kind of low down because one dude did the majority of it. The other dude was still cold. I'm gonna go Jerry Rice and John Taylor for the 49ers. They were a great receiving duo, and they won 3 Super Bowls together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Number 2, I'm gonna take it to the crib now. These are my favorites as a Floridian. I'm gonna go Mark Clayton and Mark Super Duper down in Miami, catching that rock from Dan Marino. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were, think about this. Like, this is the time, this is the 80s where the NFL didn't throw the ball like that. Mark Clayton has 9,000 receiving yards, right? Mark Duper has basically 9,000 receiving yards. When it was a run-first league, nobody slung the rock, and those dudes put them stats up. In the 80s, they were crazy. And number 1 for me, my jungle cats, Mr. Always Overlooked, Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell. They don't get what they should be getting, bro. Let me tell you. Jimmy Smith has 12,000 receiving yards, bro. Keenan McCardell has 11,400 receiving yards. And nobody talks about the work that these two dudes did. Those are my favorites.
Okay, y'all did the same. It's like we all 3 of us was on the phone last night talking, and hey, it was especially for the overlap. So let me just do the overlap and then just say, let's see, where am I at? The overlap and say, yeah, this is who I got. So we are talking about where am I at? Okay, top 5 best wide receiver duos in NFL history to you. Now, because I knew you guys were going to pick some of the same ones, I tried to get a little different, but I'm going to have some of the same. Number 5 for me is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle for the Miami Dolphins. Those boys are doing work, and I hate the Dolphins, but for the last couple of years, you can't say them boys ain't doing work. Number 4 for me, again, what you guys have said, I got to repeat just to say the names, Lynn Swann and John Stallworth, man. Those guys are icons of the icons. And number 3 for me is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins doing the work, because those boys just put that work in. Number 2 for me, again, Randy Moss and Chris Carter. You can't just say nothing else about Randy Moss and Chris Carter. But number 1 for me, because I'm a Patriots fan, it's got to be Randy Moss again and Wes Welker. Because when those boys put together that 2007 season, when game 1 happened, I was like, oh, we're about to have a great season this year. And they ran everybody out of town for 19 games, for 18 games, actually, in 45 minutes. That's what had happened.
Wow.
What had happened was we beat the game in 45 minutes. But for the last 3 minutes of the game, of the 19th game, yeah, they had some problems. But that's a whole nother conversation for another story. So, Howie Bell, it's your turn, man. I'm going to now jump into the part of the conversation I couldn't wait to have. And this is the top 5 best point guards in history to you. Like, who are your top 5 best point guards? Like, who you like to see handle the rock and distribute and do some work? And I think we all got some answers here, but we'll see.
Yeah, we probably got some of the same, man, because it's just, it is what it is, man. I got to go with number 5, Jason Kidd, off the top. You know what I'm saying? One of the best point guards to ever do it. You know, he got enough stats, you know what I'm saying, to, fill up anybody's chalkboard. He could do it, man. I mean, he was one of the best. I got to go with John Stockton. John Stockton, incredible. You know what I'm saying? Point guard. I mean, you talk about stats. His was incredible. He led in an assist? 15,806 assists. That sounds crazy.
All time.
Right.
Yeah, all-time leader in assists. 15,806. Yeah, 3,265 steals. Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go with him. And then I gotta go with my man Magic Johnson, man. And, I mean, what's a list without putting Magic Johnson on it? You know what I'm saying? For the top point guard in NBA history, period, point blank. I mean, you know all the stats, you know what he did. He got the baby skyhook, all that, multiple championships, just an LA icon. Then I gotta go with Isaiah Thomas, brother. To me, one of the best to ever play that position. And we've talked about his heroics with a fractured ankle. We talked about him, breaking his hand, fighting, that whole thing, but still being able to put up points, play defense, and ultimately, was Jordan's Achilles heel. And so I had to put Isaiah Thomas in there. But my number 1 point guard, bro, is still playing right now. And his name is Steph Curry. That's the best point guard to me. He's going to go down of the best of all time. When it's all said and done, I promise you, he'll pop one more ring. Woo-wee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he might be the best right now. But I'm just saying, give him a little more time, some more year. I don't see him retiring no time soon.
Well, if he goes to the finals, bro, I think you could have that conversation about him being one of the best point guards of all time.
I'm telling you, man.
Finals, I think you could have
just getting there.
Yeah, I think you could even have that conversation now anyway. But I'm surprised that you didn't put Isaiah Thomas number 1, bro. You know what I mean? And then you ain't talking about this shit. So
Isaiah Thomas is not better than Steph Curry.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still, I'm a Detroit fan, but I got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Thomas is incredible, but Steph Curry is undeniably incredible.
I ain't mad at you. But the thing is, some people could say Steph Curry is a shooting guard now. You know what I mean? That's what you could say. Some people could say, that could be a good argument, but I can't even get mad at your list. Give me your top 5 best point guards in history, Mo, and I want to see how many Knicks are going to be up in here. I'll be real interested to see this.
I got this. I had to write this down just now. I thought they said the top 5 prison guards.
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I thought the top, but I got 5 NBA guards. I got number 5. I wrote this down right now because I had to get I was talking about the CO up in Walpole. He was cool. He used to bring me soups and stuff. And then the CO upstate New York, he used to sneak me in cigarettes, but it's not prison point guard. Right? I got to get this. I don't know what's wrong with my phone. Number 5, Rod Strickland. Hands down, you know what I'm saying? I would go on to any NBA battle with Rod Strickland. That was my guy. Number 3, former New York Knicks, the general, Derek Harper. He was there. He was on point, and you knew what he was going to give you. You knew, and he always went out and he did his job. Derek Harper, the general. I just wish he would have got his nose fixed when he was in the NBA.
Keep going.
Number 4, my man, the first sneaker man I know of, Walt Clyde Frazier, baby. That was it. He was the guy. That was the guy. NBA MVP, Hall of Famer, and the best well-dressed man in the NBA right now. I don't care what JD says. Number 2, Mark Jackson, baby. That's right, Mark Jackson. He's the reason why the Knicks stink for so many years because they got rid of him. They never should have got rid of Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is one of the, if not the best point guard to ever come through New York, period. And number 1, Dwayne Pearl Washington.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that his career didn't do what he was able to do. You know what I'm saying? He got cut short. And if you notice, all of my plays are either from New York or played in New York.
I did notice that. That's why I said I wonder how many going to be from New York.
But the best point guards come out of New York, baby.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Keep going, Jay. Keep bringing it to me, Jay.
You know, except Derek Harper's from Florida. You know,
But
number five, it's Magic Johnson, bro. Because I mean, I just can't leave him off the list. The dude did too much winning. He saved the league. He revolutionized, the sport. You got to have that dude on the list. I don't care who you got. Number 4 for me is John Stockton, all-time assist leader. And if you let Vernon Maxwell tell you, he was a demon dog. He was filthy. He was a nasty player that everybody respected. Number 3 for me, I'm gonna go Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
And he can never be the best player overall to me because he can't guard nobody. You got to be a complete player to be the best player, all time, man. I want to hear from this. He's the greatest shooter I've ever seen. Best overall player. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, this is tough. So I'm going 1A and 1B. 1A for me is Penny Hardaway.
Mm-hmm.
Penny Hardaway is the best point guard I've ever seen. Ever. Injuries took him away from us. You know what I'm saying? Before he got a chance to really be that dude to show you just how cold he really was. Right? And for me, number 1, numero uno A, will forever be, because how he sold out, I'm going to pick him up, Isaiah Zeke Thomas.
He said how he sold out. How
he sold him out. So I'm a whole Zeke down.
There it is. I like that. I like that list. Now here's my situation. I'm gonna be honest. It was really hard for me to put these dudes in 5. From 5 to 1. It's really, really hard because I don't even know if I just don't know how hard I just had a hard time doing it. So I'm gonna give you mine, and honestly, they ain't no particular order. So, and I got to start out with one who was an honorable mention. And my honorable mention is Sidney Moncrief from the Milwaukee Bucks. People forget about him, but that boy was a beast when he played for Milwaukee Bucks. He gave the Celtics some problems. He just all the time. But number 5 for me is Isaiah Thomas. You know what I mean? And we all talked about Isaiah. I ain't got to say no more. Number 4 for me is the man who came from Georgetown, Allen Iverson. Like, AI was a problem. You know what I mean? He did his thing. Number 3 for me, Kyrie Irving, because I love Kyrie Irving. To me, you could literally have a discussion with saying that he could be top 10 all time. You could have that discussion. But number 2 for me is fan favorite. I'm gonna say he ain't gonna be nobody else's top 10, but he's in mine. He's held in my top 5. Is Nate Tiny Archibald, because that man held the Celtics down for 5 consecutive years when he did his thing, and he was one of the best. I just loved him. He did his thing. But number 1 for me, and even though I hated him as a player when he was playing, man, I don't think anybody could just say Magic Johnson ain't one of the best point guards of all time. I just, I think, I don't see how you can't say Magic ain't the best, because Magic was the best. He was doing things before people even said, oh, you could do that with the ball. He did all that stuff. He did all that. So being that we did that, we always like to do a little mix and match and change up some stuff during the show. So I'm going to change the little flow of the show now, and I'm going to start out with Howie and say, here we go now with the top 5 movies. Let's change it up from sports right quick. Movies that should have never been made. And I know one thing, Belly better be on all y'all's lists.
It's on mine. It's on my goddamn list for sure.
It's on mine. Belly better be on all y'all lists. Go ahead, Howie. Give me your top 5 movies that should have never been made.
Well, you know what, man? This category is always comical when we talk
Yeah,
about these kind of
exactly.
movies. So
Right.
I had to go and look and be like, damn, that movie was crazy. I was like, why would they even make that? So I had to go. I don't know if y'all saw this movie, but they did show clips of it in Belly, I believe, and it was called Gummo. I don't know
No,
if y'all remember this movie called
no,
Gummo.
no.
Man, it was about a trailer park trash kid and his family, and they was killing cats, cooking them, and at
Is
the
that a Tubi
Chinese
movie?
restaurants. And
No.
yeah, this movie, and it's like almost like a real movie, kind of documentary style. Man, it's one of the weirdest, most bizarre movies you ever want to see in your eyes. It's called Gummo. It shouldn't have made it. It's disturbing. Go see it though.
Okay.
You go watch it.
No.
I'm not gonna be the only one to be disturbed.
No.
um,
Mm.
this is a movie that was on Tubi, and I can't remember the name of it, but I had to put it on my list just because it was so funny that they played this trailer, like it was so official. But I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but it was a movie, and they were showing a lot of it on social media where this girl was having a shootout with this dude,
I
and
know who you going. I saw it, son.
he shot at her, and the bullet went around the tree and hit her in the head, man.
Right.
Listen.
He flicked his wrist when he shot.
Like, he made the bullet go around. It went in slow motion too. I don't know the name of that movie, but that movie probably should have never been made. I don't care how much money they tried to hustle out of that. That was probably a disgrace to cinema history.
Oh my God.
But a lot of people watched it. A lot of people watched
Man, yeah, just for that scene alone.
it. Yeah, a lot of people watched
And Angela Jolie was in that movie.
it.
Yeah. Angela Jolie's step cousin.
That's right. No,
Uh,
Angela, not Angelina. Angela.
Yeah.
Angela Jolie.
I didn't even know this movie existed. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yes. Terrible.
It was a real it's a
Terrible.
horror film about Winnie the Pooh and what's the name of the pig? Piglet Arnold or whatever.
Piglet.
Man, and they made this scary movie where they terrorizing these girls and this whole thing. I promise you, man, I never saw such trash, and I just watched the trailer. I thought it would have to be. I said, I don't know who put the money behind this. You know what I'm saying? But I
Oh,
guess
man.
it's something, so that's 3. And then I got My Little Pony, the movie, 2017. Yeah, I didn't even watch the trailer. So I got number 5. I mean, my number 1. Just don't ever watch My Little Pony. If I ever hear about one of y'all watching My Little Pony, we're not friends about. The last one, I gotta go old school. In 1964, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
No. I ain't even hear about that one.
I never heard that.
Why they made it, I don't know. Maybe the name sound cool though. Those
Hey,
are my
You
top.
know what the funny thing is? Don't you ever sit down and see how a movie is made, and you sit there and say, "Who put the money into that?"
Man, absolutely.
Yeah,
who said I'm writing the check? You know what I'm saying?
that's right. Yeah, like I'd be shocked sometimes. Mo, give me your top 5 movies that should have never been made.
Top 5 movies that have never been made. Number 5, The Wash, with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. I
Yeah.
think we can comfortably say this list can have any movie that stars Snoop Dogg in it should have never been made. Snoop
Exactly,
Dogg
bro.
has yet to make a decent movie. I'm not saying he's never been in good movie, but anything he stars in never should have been made. But I'm going to put The Wash out there. Number 4, Blue Hill Ave. Remember
Ooh.
G Money? They had that movie
Why you
about.
killing your man from Boston, bro?
He
Ooh.
knows that movie should have never been made. Everybody in
Ooh.
Boston hated that movie. He knows when Frank know what I'm talking about. They were
I know
listen.
Craig
It's a
too,
part of
man.
Boston called Mattapan Square. It's another part of Boston called Dudley Station. They like clearly across town from each other. How it's like going from Detroit to Pontiac or something like that. But in the movie, they went from Dudley Station to Mattapan Square in one scene. It's like they were driving up and down the street, just going to the same street back and forth. And the sad thing about it is I met Michael B. Johnson, I think his name is. None of the movie was filmed in Boston. They filmed the whole thing in Canada and in New York.
They sure did.
None of it was filmed in Boston. I met him at I didn't met him at Sub when I was in LA. Number 3, Dawn of the Dead, the revision. The one with Mekhi Phifer. How them zombies gonna run that fast? Those zombies was running. They was running faster than Jerry. They was running faster than white boys in black dudes in a white neighborhood back in 1977. How them zombies run that fast? Tales from the Hood.
I like
Y'all
that
remember
movie.
that one?
Oh, the first one's good.
Yeah,
I like the first one.
Yeah, keep going.
Y'all like Tales from the Hood?
The first
Yeah,
one,
it was good. Yeah.
But you didn't like Belly. Shame. Shame.
Not the same movie, bro.
Shame. Shame. And the last one I got down, starring Marion Barry, former mayor of Washington, D.C. The movie was filmed called The Bitch Set Me Up. Remember when they caught him smoking crack?
Yep.
That was a reality show. That was a movie. That was a reality show.
I
He
don't
was
care
set up
what
for
it
real,
was.
though.
I don't care what it was. Marion Barry wished they never would have filmed it. The Bitch Set Me Up. Number 1 movie that never should have been made.
I like your list, bro. I like
It
your
never
list.
should have happened. That's right.
Give me yours, filmmaker Jason Hayes. Give me your 5 that should have never been made.
All right. I'm going to start with my honorable mention. And it's only an honorable mention because even though it is terrible, it made a shit ton of money. Y'all know it. We call it, filmmakers call it the Blair Pitch Project. Y'all know it as the Blair Witch Project. Trash, bro. That was the first time in my life I went to a movie and wanted to fight in the lobby when I came up out that joint. You know what I'm saying? The dopest thing about it was the trailer. The movie itself is like unwatchable. I mean, you sitting there in the dark with just a bunch of sound going on, bro. Horrendous. Number 5, Soul Plane. Trash. Trash. Dude, I'm certain it didn't work on the page. I'm certain of it. You know what I'm saying? But they said we're gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you misspell a word and autocorrect flags it, and you say, "Nah, dog, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna leave it." That's what they did with that.
But Jason, it would have made a whole lot more money if that movie had been on the street before that movie came out. You know that, right? That movie would have made a boatload of money. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I was gonna say, you don't think Snoop Dogg deserved an award for that movie?
For being terrible, yes.
A Razzie. I'm
gonna go number 3. I mean, honestly, I'm being kind for putting it here. Belly. Belly is one of the most beautifully shot, most unwatchable, don't make no sense movies I've ever seen in my life. Like, I know why people like Mo love it, because Hype know how to shoot them silhouettes really beautifully and light them women just beautiful. And you think you're seeing a good movie, but you're not, bro. You intoxicated by the eye candy. You know what I'm saying?
That is cinematic genius at its best.
That's called the 2-hour music video.
Terrible! Oh my God, it was terrible, bro.
Music video. Go ahead.
Number 3. This is probably the most unwatchable movie ever made. State Property. State Property is a movie that's so bad that the movie theaters just should have gave everybody a refund when it ended. It is that bad. I know people that love bad movies that couldn't watch it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, I'm gonna go Godfather Part 3. Never should have been made.
Yeah.
It wrecked an entire franchise of masterful filmmaking, and the fact that it exists taints everything else. Right? They never should have made that movie.
It was bad.
Right?
It was bad. It was.
And number 1, it's about 30 movies, but it's one person behind them. Everything Tyler Perry, bro. When I say everything, I say everything. I mean, you would think that he would have like slipped up and accidentally made a good movie once, right?
Damn.
everything, bro. Everything.
Not
See,
one.
I
Not
can't even.
one.
I can't even say that you right about that because after the third or fourth Tyler Perry movie, I stopped watching all of them. I don't even if it's a Tyler Perry movie, I don't even see it. I'm done. I'm that's it for me.
Right.
I don't know. But I like your list. I like your list, Jay. I like your list. So my list, right? This is how I did it. My list is films that shouldn't have been made that pissed me off. You know what I mean? Because I was mad that I watched it. That's how I did my list. And number 5 for me was Belly. Because I was mad when I walked out the movie theater. I was hyped to go see that movie. I was mad. Oh, I was hot. Number 4 for me, I don't even know if y'all remember this. In 1990, there was a Captain America movie that came out, and I went to the screening to see it, and I was hot as fish grease when I came out of that one too. I was like, this looked like super trash. Couldn't believe I wasted my 2 hours. Number 3 for me was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I was like, y'all just ruined a whole franchise with that. And then you made the girl, you just made everything just bad all the way around.
Jar Jar Binks, bro. Jar Jar, man.
Jar Jar Binks did it horrible. It was horrible. I can't think of nothing good about that movie except the special effects. That's the only thing I can think of. Even that was subpar. But the number 2 movie that came in that made me upset too, really upset, was when I went to see this. I think I saw this with my wife. I'm not sure. Let's see, 2004. Yeah, I did. I saw it with my wife because I was with her at the time. I saw Catwoman in the movie theaters with Halle Berry. You want to talk about hot? I was mad. Because you got to pay for dinner, you got to pay the park. You're paying for all these different things, and you see a movie like that. You see the trailer, and the trailer looked good, and it fools you. You think, okay, this is gonna be a good movie. Nope. But
the trailer looked bad to me, bro. So that's why I didn't go see it.
The trailer didn't look that bad to me. I was like, okay,
I ain't like the trailer.
I was on the fence with the trailer. I was on the fence, but yeah, that got me. But the number 1 movie that got me so mad that I literally went out to the movie theater and I went and spoke to the manager and I said, I need my money back. Like today, I just got to have my money back because I can't have my money gone and my time gone on this. It's got to be Battlefield Earth with John Travolta in 2000. I don't know if y'all even remember that.
I remember that, bro.
Yeah.
Battlefield Earth.
I never even heard of that one.
I read science fiction books, so I read that book years and years ago. So I was thinking, okay, if they make this, I don't know how they're gonna fit all that into a 2-hour movie, but okay, let me go see it. But oh my God.
It's like a cult classic now, though, ain't it?
I know. I don't think it's a cult classic. No, I don't think it's a cult classic. I don't even think it's that. It's too bad.
I think one movie we should have all mentioned that nobody mentioned. Pootie Tang.
Oh yeah. I remember that. That was terrible.
That was terrible.
Yeah,
That was terrible. I got to give you that one. That's terrible. All right, so Howie, you up next. So now it's time for the top 5 best power forwards in history to you. Like who do you like and who you thought did work?
That's almost like that point guard category. It's so many. You know what I mean? It's hard to put a top 5 on any of this. Is crazy. But I gotta start with my man Dirk Nowitzki. You know what I'm saying? Got to give it to him. I mean, he was so good for a long time. Finally got that chip. He played real hard for a long time, man. And he was, before Doncic and all these other guys, he was the man. You know what I'm saying? All these other people you oversee, Nowitzki was the man, pure shooter, one of the best, and played good defense. You know what I'm saying? So got to give it up for him. Dennis Rodman made my list. Even though he wasn't the best offensively later in his career, he's unstoppable defensively. He wore some really nice dresses and some really obscure garments, and but we've discussed that on previous episodes. But nevertheless, one of the best power
That's
forwards
the Howie.
ever.
Hey, Frank. That's the Howie I know and love right there. Detroit is in here now.
Yep.
Guess who's back?
He's redeemed himself.
So he's not an invasion of the body snatcher. He didn't get snatched. He back.
He back.
I'm still even kid.
He's back.
And so I gotta give it up for your boy from Boston. Well, he went to Boston, but he got the chip for y'all. Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett, man. Gotta have him on my list, man. One of the best to do it, man. I mean, MVP? I mean, just all-star. I mean, everything. He did it all. He finished his career real nice. You know what I'm saying? I like the way he did it, and he was absolutely incredible. That's 3. Number 4, I'm going to go with Giannis, man. Mm-hmm. Right now, Giannis looking like he about to be the best. Period. If he keep this up, You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He very well could wind up being, number one at that position, and with everything he's doing, I'm interested to see what team he's going to go to. I think he's going to leave and go somewhere. I hope he goes to Detroit, but that's another story. And my number one at that position is the quiet assassin, the keep the same face, never change his expression, Tim Duncan.
The
Tim
big
Duncan.
Tim Duncan.
I knew you was gonna say that.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, he quietly won several rings. All right, quiet five. All right, a quiet five. You know what I'm saying? And killed you statistically, MVPs, everything, man. He's a 5-time NBA champion, like you said. The 2-time MVP, read some stats right here, and a 15-time All-Star. Come on, bro. I mean, what do you how do you get better than that? You know what I'm saying? They call him the big fundamental. You know what I'm talking about? That's a bad boy right there. So that's my top 5 power forwards in the NBA.
And people don't talk too much about how he won an NBA championship as a rookie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He was playing with David Robinson too.
Yeah,
that
he
time.
did. He did his thing.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, give me your top 5 best power forwards in history.
I did mine as power forward that'll smack you in the mouth if you mess with them.
Like
you know what I'm saying? They would just smack the shit out you if you mess. Number 5, Charles Oakley. You can't go into a game and not think you don't need a Charles Oakley in your game. He's a hitter, he's a shooter, and he will smack somebody in the mouth. Leads me to number 4, Horace Grant. You're not going into there thinking you punking Horace Grant. I didn't pick the best power forwards like Hall of Famers and ringers. I'm talking about cats you put on the team that do the intangibles. Horace Grant. I also got Dennis Rodman down there. You know, he will smack somebody too. I think that he might smack him a little flip-wristed.
Smack him on the butt. Smack him on the butt.
Man. He definitely will kick a cameraman. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely will kick a cameraman. This one here, I had to put them because they both name is Kevin and they both come from Boston. So I put both of them at the number 2. Kevin Garnett and Kevin McHale. I think Kevin McHale, I hated Kevin McHale, man, but I'll never forget one time in a series, I don't know what game it was. I know Frank will probably tell me when he was on the floor, on his back, shot the ball, and it went in. He had arms so long, he could smack 3 people at one time.
And that's when he
Kevin
picked
McHale. And Kevin Garnett, we just know he's just unpredictable. His head ain't right. You know, he ain't there all the way. And my number 1 power forward all time, my man, Chris Webber, baby. I'm taking Chris Webber with me no matter where I go.
I like your list. I'm
surprised Howard didn't say Chris Webber.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that too. Let me just say this. Mo, let me say this real fast. Kevin McHale, from that play, he picked up the nickname as the black hole because he doesn't pass the ball. And right then and there, that was when they said, okay, you don't pass the ball, bro. And nobody else in the NBA up. He never passed the ball. You passed it to him, you knew he was going to shoot it. But nobody's realized you could double team him, and he still ain't passing the ball. But anyway, go ahead, Jason, talk to me, man.
All right, so I'm going to go number 5, just to get it out the way. You got to go Karl Malone, bro. When he retired, he's second all-time leading scorer only behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No, I mean, the dude had 37,000 points. There's nothing to talk about with that. Number 4 for me, I'm going to go to Big Ticket. Ticket had a better career than people realize. Ticket scored like 26,000 points and had like almost 15,000 rebounds. And he won no matter where he was. So that's Kevin Garnett, man. You got to have him, all time. Number 3 for me, I'm going to go Moses Malone. People do not understand. Mo had 27,500 points. 27,500 points. And he had over 16,000 rebounds. That's putting in work, man. People don't think about Mo like that because, he was kind of old by the time I started watching basketball. But Mo was tough, man. And number 2, I'm going Dirk Nowitzki. Do you realize that Dirk is only 700 points away from Michael Jordan all-time scoring?
Man.
Didn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? So how can he not be an all-time great power forward?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, big fundamental, man.
Sir.
You got to go big. Listen, he won 5 championships in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in
Yeah.
San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna say this. Y'all had a great list, and I knew some of y'all were gonna pick some of mine. So I tried to do a little bit different, but yeah, not too much. But I said, let me just throw some of the names out here that I knew y'all wasn't gonna pick. And I'm surprised at Howie Bell didn't pick Rasheed Wallace coming in at number 5.
Yeah, that was tough leaving him off. Yeah.
I thought about it. Yep.
I thought about him too.
Yeah.
I had to put Rasheed up there, even though he had a brief stint as a Celtic, but he did work as a Detroit Piston. Like he knows Detroit Piston. He did work for that. Number 4 is the guy who smiles a lot, the smiling assassin. I call him Chris Webber. I loved him, man, as a ball player, man. Like, I love Chris Webber. Kevin McHale came in at number 3 for me. Easy. Number 2 for me is the big fundamental. I don't think anybody else could say no, not in being in the top 5. Number 1 for me is literally Kevin Durant. Like, I'm like, when Kevin Durant was playing, foul forward, I liked him as I liked it. I liked everything he was doing. I liked it. So that's my list, and I didn't want to pick some of the same players that you guys picked. So I want to do that a little different, add the names, even though I knew y'all was gonna pick the same guys I picked, which you did. So I had to throw something different. So before we roll up out of here, man, I got 4 minutes left. And we do have one more that we could ask. I'm gonna hold that to tomorrow. And I'm gonna ask you all this and say, who do you think, Howie? Tell me right now. We got let's see, we got 4 teams. We got 4 teams in the East, 4 teams in the West. Who you think is going to the NBA Finals, bro? Give me a pick in the NBA Finals. And why?
Wow. All right, real quick. I know you said that Indiana, don't sleep on them, but I don't know if I think OKC comes out the West. I can't lie. I think Steph Curry and those boys match up with them in the Western Conference Finals. I think OKC takes it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the East, I got Boston going back to the finals.
Okay, Mo, who you got going to the finals?
As good as Cleveland is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm picking Golden State in the West just because whenever you don't pick them, they win. So I'm gonna take the Golden State Warriors versus the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. Boston's going down, Indy's going down, everybody's going down. They going down like Debbie did in Dallas. They all going down.
Mo, you sure you watch basketball, bro? I just want to make sure you watch basketball.
Hey man, listen, the gummies have kicked in. All right, I'm up here doing special teams for special education. You think I really was going to pick a legit 2 teams? Come on now.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. Jason Hayes, give me your team that you think, your 2 teams that you think is going to go to the NBA Finals.
First, Mo, the only way the Knicks make the finals would be if Whoopi Goldberg make another Eddie movie and she the head coach. Get them to the finals.
I mean, that was a great movie. That was cinematic genius.
That's the only way the Knicks making the finals, bro.
You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about the kids on the court, not when they in court.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too much in the East. It's too much in the East.
Yeah. Man. So out the West, I got to go with the team that was the best all season long. I just can't go against OKC. They're so long and they're so talented, but the thing that makes me say that they're gonna weather the storm is that they play D.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They get in you, bro. And game 1 is just one thing. I mean, defense wears you down over time. And that length and that talent, and they all play within themselves. They don't take bad shots. They ain't gonna miss 45 threes in the game, Frank, because they ain't gonna take that many.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So out the East, that's tougher. I want to say Boston, but I think Cleveland.
Okay.
Because I think Cleveland's better defensively.
No, they're definitely not. But okay, I give you. All right, we'll see. My pick. Everybody know I got the Celtics come out of the East. My pick right now is I want to see one more game with Denver and OKC. But if I had to pick the second, I'm gonna say OKC. But if Denver gives them one more game that's tough like that, I'm gonna go Denver because Denver is kind of scary. But the scariest team to me in the league is OKC. To me, like they're the scariest team in the league. You know, and here's the scary part that the NBA people are not even talking about. They're gonna be scary for the next couple of years.
Oh yeah,
right.
They're gonna be scary for 4 or 5 years deep. And the next team after that that's gonna be scary for the next couple of years after that is Houston. And the next team after that is gonna be San Antonio. And people ain't paying attention to these other teams because they're not big market name teams, you know, with big market names. You know what I mean? But you know, I think that's where we're gonna be at, man, the next couple of years.
Watch out for those Detroit Pistons coming up in the next few years too.
Yeah, but I think Detroit could get to the finals, but bro, OKC and Houston is going to be a serious problem for the next 3 or 4 years.
They're loaded.
Easy.
Yeah,
easy. And if you watch ball, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we got to get ready to roll up out of here, man. The name of the show is called Box Seats. We're on Humor Mill. But Howie Bell, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Hey man, Howie Bizzell, HOWIEBIZZELL, and I'm performing for the faculty and staff at Bagley Elementary School tomorrow. How about that, man? Detroit Public Schools, baby. Let's go.
Clean jokes, Howie?
Clean jokes? Absolutely clean jokes. Absolutely.
I gotta see you telling clean jokes. Maurice Smith, comedian. Tell us everybody else what you got going on, bro.
You know what? I really ain't got nothing going on. I'm cooking. I got all these concerts and playoffs going. That's what I got going. I got to take my black behind to work. I'm at TD Garden tomorrow night, popping out them pieces left from right, baby. And then I turn around and get ready over at Gillette Stadium because Kendrick Lamar is coming. So I'm cooking. I ain't got no shows booked. Yeah, I'm probably the worst comedian this weekend in the world. But I want to change my teams because in the East, I'm going to take Portia out of Pleasure Pole in Baltimore. She's going to go to the NBA Finals. And out of the West, I'm going to take Sexy Sally out of Satin Sauls. She's going to go for the West. She's going to go to the NBA Finals. Both of them will be at the NBA Finals.
And that's true. They both will be. They might have different names, but they both will be.
I'm sure they'll be there.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be there too. Wherever the finals is, I'm sure they'll be there. Jason, tell everybody how they can follow you, bro.
Right here at JD Hayes on Fanbase, man.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you all for watching, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to follow up more with the NBA Finals, talk about more other sports topics, man. We'll see y'all. Thank you all for watching. See you.